BJ, have a seat so I can
You
adjust
got it.
everything, man.
Okay.
Pull up as close as you can.
Okay. Okay.
Mic check 1 2. Awesome. Okay.
Hey, why am I not picking this up on YouTube for some reason?
But you're actually on YouTube?
Yeah.
What do I? Oh, it's my phone.
Okay. I'll check. Okay, I got. Hold on, I might be wrong. SQAIR.
No, yeah, I'm sorry.
SQAI. Okay. Okay, I got you.
Oh, you good?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
SQAIR.
No, yeah, I'm sorry.
SQAI.
Couldn't even spell it myself.
So I can start sharing this, right?
Yep, sure can. I mean, if you see yourself or see us, then you can share it. Yeah. Oh, you good? Mm-hmm.
I'm a little slow. It's night. Okay, okay.
Couldn't even spell it myself. So I can start sharing this, right? Yep, sure can. I mean, if you see yourself or see us, then you can share it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, perfect. So, all right, hey everybody, I know we're live right now. I just had to get a couple of things done before we actually started into our conversation. BJ Murphy is here. BJ is, and I have been friends for quite some time, guys. And but let me go ahead and say this because I know some of you are actually looking for it. You're looking for the Facebook live feed. There's something going on with Facebook. It wasn't us. I tried it earlier today and it was working, but now for some reason on Facebook it's not working. So, and I saw when I pulled up the blog, there's a ton of people that were complaining about the same thing. So, sorry about that. Is that my phone or your phone doing that?
That's my phone.
Is that? Oh. So, anyway, but you can still obviously watch it on YouTube. The link is on the show page. Just click the link for YouTube and you can watch the show. A couple of things too, some programming information. For those of you who do not know, the shows are now all 60 minutes in length. There's no unlimited show time. We had to cut back because there are some other shows that are being developed that we have to really squeeze them in. And listen, the idea that I'm even saying that is a good thing.
Awesome.
Because we're going to have more shows as we are growing. But I appreciate your support, guys. I think thank you so much for everything, and we're going to continue to grow. BJ, headset, please, sir.
Yes, sir.
And so I think we're going to be good.
Okay.
But again tonight, hey guys, BJ Murphy is here. last time every time you're here, it's only been twice, but
Yeah.
when you're here, we talk about some deep subjects, man.
We get into it, man.
Man, hey, but you know something, man. Thank you for being here, man.
Thank you for
appreciate
inviting
it.
me.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is awesome studio. This is the future of broadcasting.
You
You're a
think so?
pioneer. Please, I put my life on it.
Wow.
What you're doing right now is so advanced. You actually I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I was gonna say 10 years, but I say you're 5 years ahead. But in some instances you could be 10 years ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you know something's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know because again, the idea was to have a platform that we could go to and talk about anything that we wanted to.
Yes.
Not just some. Listen, there's some shows that we have on the network that they talk about lighter subjects, and there's some shows that talk about very very heavy subjects. Every show couldn't be a heavy subject. There's no way. You just get tired of it. It's like, damn, they're talking about some heavy shit. I just can't take it no damn more.
Yeah.
So we're not like that.
Yeah.
But tonight, man, we're going to be. This is kind of the kickoff to Black History Month, which
Mm-hmm.
is kind of cool. So we're going to be talking about really kind of the blackness. We're going to be talking about everything.
Keep on.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds
man.
of blackness. Yeah.
What was the first? Come on, picture. Come on up. BJ sent me some really good information.
We're going to send a little content for us tonight to talk about anything that you wanted to talk about. We could talk about it. So, not in any particular order that you want to go in.
Right. But listen, it's great information.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that I'll even pick out poverty. Talking about the U.S. poverty rate is higher now. This was in 2015. I think this
Mm-hmm.
information. It ain't like it's that much different now than in the late 1960s.
Yeah.
I mean. The U.S. poverty rate is higher now than it was in the late 1960s.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that something? So why is that? Why in 2020 are we in worse condition than when we were making less money?
But it doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like it's what do you call this? Window dressing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You look good because you're driving around in the BMW, you're driving around in the latest SUV, you got on the latest sneakers. But if you lose your job, one paycheck, you're going to be calling mom and them.
Oh, for sure.
Can I come stay with y'all?
In fact, you may be getting money from them right now to help
Yeah.
support you, so you just never know.
Right. This fake lifestyle, so how do we get here? Because we've been deceived as a people.
Okay.
And you thought that your vote was going to provide a better way for you to live.
Right.
I'm not against voting, but I'm saying voting alone is not going to save black people. And I keep saying the same thing over and over again until black people decide that they're going to pool their resources and begin to build a future that's independent of what white people have set up for you.
Right.
You are never going to get out of poverty.
Right.
Matter of fact, they're talking about you're going to be worse in the year 2030 or 2040.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, we got basketball players, we got all these artists, we have people in business that make money.
Yep.
But look at the little brother on the street on the corner of Beatty'sford and LaSalle.
Right.
Just walking around with no money in his pocket.
Right. And an attitude.
Yeah. And he should have attitude.
Yeah.
And our children now, because of our unwillingness to carve out a future for them 15 to 20 years ago, now you're seeing the seeds of the most heinous crimes that are happening in Charlotte are done by 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds.
That's alarming.
Yeah, it is, but it's our fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to eat that now. So how are you going to fix it? Well, will it be fixed in our lifetime? I doubt it. I'm 55 years old. Just turned 55, right?
Yeah.
And so if I live 20 to 30 more years, we have to begin to have a conversation about black independence and separating yourself from the current form of black life, which all you are right now is a glorified pseudo honorary white citizen in black skin. Mm-hmm. You want to be accepted by people who do not. I'm not going to say everybody. I'm not going to say everybody.
I get it. What
Yeah,
you're
but
saying.
I'm saying that, in Charlotte, we sick because we want to be at the table. And I hear that all the time. Oh, we got to have a seat at the table, table. Yeah, you the butler at the table. You have no decision making power because you go on to a table that's already made up and dressed.
Right.
And you just there to get some crumbs if they allow you. And then you want to be the only Negro sitting at the table say, well, I met with so and so and so. I was
Right.
with so and so and
Right,
so,
right,
and
right.
they told me. And you want to be the big
Yeah.
Negro on the block.
One of the things that bugs me about stuff like that is that there are diversity inclusion officers at these major corporations, and do they do a good job? I would have to say no.
Right. You said inclusion officers, right?
Yeah, diversity. And inclusion. Mm-hmm. So, the idea that your job is to go out and get or make sure that minority businesses are going to get the projects at that company should be an extreme high priority. Even if they're not completely certified, then go ahead and help them get certified. We don't do that.
Right.
We're just picking from the low hanging fruit,
Yeah.
and that's going to be about it. And I think that's just an awful way that we're dealing with folks that look like us.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're not ready. So when you're ready, come back to me. No, that's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, we go out of our way to prove that we're fair-minded and we'll pass over us to go hire somebody else,
Right.
and we're just as qualified because we want to seem like we're fair and balanced. And just because I'm a black person in this position, I'm not going to go hire a bunch of black people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we go out of our way to do that. And I just think that right now we need people that have courage and that don't mind offending the status quo, the powers that be in the city of Charlotte. And
I agree.
Yeah, and I always bring this up, and it's a classic example. Now we have all of this black leadership, and a lot of them are my friends. They're your friends.
Right.
I love them. I don't have no problems with them.
Right.
Only problem I have is the question I have that I would like our city officials to answer this question: how can we, as a city of all these black high position elected officials that we have in this city, why are our people suffering and at the bottom of the barrel?
Yeah.
Why don't we have a piece of Charlotte that we can call our own? And, look at this. Like, everybody is so you're window dressing.
Right.
Why aren't white people clamoring to be the mayor? Why are they clamoring to be the city manager? Why aren't they clamoring to be the police chief and all these other positions that they used to have? Now they say, oh, y'all go ahead and take it. Sit back. We good.
Right.
As long as you do what I tell you to do, I'll let you stay. I'll let you stay there. Right. And so what crane do black people have downtown that's building the skyscraper? What businesses do we have downtown? So, black people got that. Black people got that on North Tryon Street.
None of that.
What part of the minority contracting do we have building the new stadium and on the stuff they're getting rebuilt on the east side?
Yeah.
So who are you working for?
Yeah.
And why are your people suffering? Why are we wrapped around a building on Freedom Drive last week in the rain when y'all in power and your people are standing out there for 196 units, and it's 1,000 people out there.
Yeah.
And then they charging $25 application fee.
Yeah, I don't get that.
So,
Wanda Mayfield talked about that too. She was really appalled by the $25 fee. Any kind of fee, I think, is stupid. And
we should be so upset that nobody is addressing that, and they won't. Nobody that I've seen is going to go out on a limb. I'm not saying I'm not in all the meetings. I don't know what's being talked about, but all I know is from what I'm seeing, that black people are in a worse condition with black leadership at the helm than they've ever been. And I'm saying, why is that? Mm-hmm. And you should ask them, why is that? Because you don't have no damn friends in this hour that we're living in. Black people, you in war.
Yeah, yeah.
And the people in South Charlotte and Ballantyne, they over there chilling, living a good life.
And right downtown Charlotte.
Like, go down Beatty'sford and LaSalle and just hang out for 30 minutes and stand at the corner, and you'll see the most despair, the misery of black life, where people walking around don't have nothing to eat, walking around just wandering, and then they're getting ready to put the trolley right up in the heart of Beatty's Ford and LaSalle,
Yeah.
and then stick a dagger in all those black people, and they have no idea that in a couple of years there won't be people walking around chilling and walking from store to store. You know what I'm saying?
But you're saying that's going to be gentrified too.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
They already gentrified. It's already been done. And you have to say, well, who are the people that sold us out to the investors? What kind of deals were made?
Right.
This happened years ago. Now, for it to be happening now.
Right.
And black people are just in the quagmire, and nobody really cares for them like that.
Do you think that black officials have to be? Do you think they have to continue to ride the fence?
Yeah, if you the white man's flunky,
Okay,
and you his little boy, and his
sure, and I get that.
Yeah.
But I mean, in order to get things done, in your view, if they ride the fence, I guess they're not going to get anything done.
well, that fence should be already worn out by now. Because I mean, look at where we're living now.
Right.
You know, all that's a scared to death Negro talk.
Right.
When you talking about, I got to be balanced, everything real, we can't ask for everything. I'm not the black so-and-so, so I'm everybody so-and-so. So, well, they are living good. Your people are living in misery. Don't you look, David Tepper, this man is getting ready to come take Charlotte over. Every time he say, get up and do this, they, all right, Mr. Tepper, we're going to do how many paper, how much money you need? How much? Yeah, I want to have a new shopping center on so and so. Yes, Mr. Tepper, we don't want you to lead the path. And so they jump for this
Right.
man. Charlotte is a playground for him.
Yeah.
And then he's going to help Charlotte become a playground for every wealthy white person that said, you know what, it's about time. Think about this, man. I know Mayor Lyles.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? I'm not saying anything bad against my sister. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
But why is it that the Republicans don't want to run anybody against her? What is it? This doesn't make any sense. What is it about you that they love you? They gave you a commercial, and they going all out of their way to promote you. And now you got Donald Trump. He's going to be here. He's going to be here like this week or next week or something like that.
Yeah,
He's coming.
yeah, I think you're right.
And I just don't understand. How could this be?
Well, listen,
Unless somebody has told our black elected officials something.
Right.
Look at the architect of Charlotte, Mr. Hugh McCall.
right.
Look at him. He has, stood in the background, directing. These white people in Charlotte are in the background directing. You do this. You go with him. You talk to him. You do this. You go with Bloomberg. You do this.
I mean, do you think Charlotte should be maybe a smaller, better Atlanta?
Can't be, because the black people here are not courageous like they are in Atlanta. I mean, them black folks, they carved out a piece of Atlanta for themselves.
Yeah.
It's a predominantly black city, and they act like it. And so us, I mean, we are becoming a predominantly black area. More of us moving here,
Right.
But we're about 10 years away in mentality,
Yeah.
as far as like that conquering type spirit. Think about this. Charlotte is named after a black queen.
Yeah. No.
She's a black woman.
Yep.
Her identity is hidden, and nobody cares. If the people even just knew that the woman, that Charlotte was named after a black woman, that would make you're like, wow. Well, why don't you know that? Why are they hiding her
Because
identity?
they don't teach it. They don't tell you.
Right, but they should. And then they roll out some white woman during the what was that, the centennial they had here for the Charlotte anniversary, however old
was?
Charlotte was. Yeah, and she comes out, a white woman comes out, and not Queen Charlotte. And everybody knows Queen Charlotte was a black woman.
Wait, stop for a second.
Yeah.
They literally roll a white
Yes,
woman.
sir. Yeah, have you ever seen a black woman depicted as Queen Charlotte?
I haven't. No.
Never. Nobody
Yeah.
has. You ain't never seen it, unless it was in a play or something. And I doubt that.
Wow.
Yeah, so here we are. We are a joke, and white people are sitting back. I keep hate saying, like, you might think I'm saying white folks this, white folks that. I'm just saying I have to be clear,
Right.
because if I don't say it, I don't know who will say it. in the media like that.
You're one in a few.
Yeah.
But we need that.
Yeah, we need to talk about it. It's like, it's like hidden, and people are afraid to say something because they feel like they're going to lose a grant or lose a job or
Right.
lose friendship. I won't be invited to this meeting. I won't be at the Herb Gray soiree because we
Right.
don't want nobody like you around because you make people uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody need to be uncomfortable in the hour that we're living in because
Well,
I'm telling you,
that is true.
our children won't have no future, and the people that we have ignored, our youth, they're going to come knocking at your door one night.
All right. Yeah,
And there's
good
nothing
point.
you can do about it.
Good point. Where do you see Charlotte progressing in a way that's going to be beneficial to black folks?
Well, how could Charlotte be progressing when Charlotte-Mecklenburg school system is the most segregated school system in North Carolina?
That's a damn shame.
You know what I'm saying? Here we are in Charlotte, the lap of luxury for the South, and they building it up. It's a brand new city. Charlotte is a future top 10 city
Yeah.
because of the amount of people that are moving in. But underneath Charlotte, like Brother Kojo said years ago, remember on television? I don't know if
Right.
you were here then. He said Charlotte is a bastion of racism. Underneath the curtain,
Right.
underneath
right.
Charlotte,
The foundation of it.
is rotten to the core racism,
Yeah.
and it's hidden under this. Oh, we got diversity. You remember back in the day when they used to have these ice cream socials in Charlotte, and everybody would go downtown and eat ice cream and talk
Right.
about inclusion and stuff. And while everybody else got richer, the black people got poor. And then in 2016, when the riots came, you find out a document said, well, damn, we number 50 in poverty.
Yeah, go figure.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
We've been eating ice cream and having all these diversity
You've been-
inclusion meetings. And how did this happen? So God is going to pull the cover up off all of it. And the people that sold us out years ago, black and white, they're going to be exposed one day. God's going to permit that to happen.
How do we do better?
Man, look, do you want me to really say it?
Hell yeah.
Okay. I say it again. The best and only solution for black people now, after you have experimented with civil rights and sit-ins
Right.
and all this marching and we shall overcome crap.
Right,
Sorry.
right. No, I
Sorry.
get it. No, you're good.
You better get a house of your own.
Mm-hmm.
You better get you a builder and build a community up. You better build your own schools up. You better create some jobs and grocery stores and things that our children can usher themselves into, that we created for them, so they can have some dignity and self-respect. Because if you allow this to keep happening with the most segregated school system in North Carolina, you think how things going to get better unless we make them better?
Right.
Unless we decide that we're going to get some balls and we're going to go against the grain, be a sacrificial lamb for your children. Don't worry about so being your friend, because they ain't your damn friend anyway.
Right. Yeah, not really.
Yeah, not they're really fake
Right.
friends.
Yeah.
See, fake friends are fair weather friends.
Oh yeah.
And your real friends are the ones that'll tell you the truth, regardless if you've fallen out with them or not.
Exactly.
That's what real love is. Real love casts out all fear.
Yeah.
And so if you really love Charlotte, you love the black people that live in Charlotte, and I'm talking about all of humanity. I'm not just talking about, white people need truth too.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? There's some white people that'll help you if you get some damn courage. They'll say, yeah, I agree with you.
Right.
I mean, they having the black only town hall meetings in Charlotte. I don't know if you know about that. Yeah, they got the black only town hall meetings. There's some white people in Charlotte that saying, damn, what took you so long? We'll help fund what
Really?
you're doing.
No, I didn't know that. No, that's good.
Yeah, it's Mecklenburg County of Elders. They put these talks on, town hall meetings, and everybody, people that have common sense know that we are suffering, and nothing is going to get better on its own. We just let things it's going to get better on its own. The killings in Charlotte
Right.
that we have, I guess it'll get better on its own. The prosecutors are predicting it's going to be worse in 2020 than it was last year.
So now what? We're gonna have 200 people.
Possibly. I told Miss Judy from Mamo a couple of years ago, I said, Charlotte going to turn into the new Chicago. They was like, oh, no, it ain't. No, we're going to pray to God. That never happened. And I said, look what happened.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if we
Okay.
don't do what needs to be done in the time that it needs to be done, then you have to suffer the consequences
Right.
of it.
Yeah.
The next phase you're about to see in Charlotte is the youth killers.
Right. Well, it's kind of like that. Oh, well, go ahead. Go ahead.
But some of the seeds have come up now.
Mm-hmm.
So how you going to stop that? You got to go into the community. You got to go into, and I want you to show what we're doing with the peacekeepers, and we're doing the Stop the Killing Our
Right.
Kids campaign, and with the what do you call that? Deliberative the dialogue, conflict resolution that we're
Right.
doing.
Yep.
And so, is that enough? And hell no, it's not enough. I mean, everybody needs to be on board and going in the neighborhood and taking some time out to go talk to the young brothers and just show that you care.
Right.
At this point, there's not no government programs that will stop killing.
Right.
It is somebody has to know that you care about them and you're willing to sacrifice your time to spend with somebody to let them know I really care about you.
Right. That's one option. I think the other one that some people are already thinking about, this whole police state thing.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous if
Yeah.
you ask me, because now all of a sudden they're going to arrest every black person they see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the goal, is to put us in prison,
Right.
and throw away the key. I got some family members, but sister, they called me. Their child was in Colombia, and they got caught up in a attempted carjacking. And the person, when they tried to carjack him, the person said, "No, I ain't giving you shit."
Right. Right.
And then they walked away, but they still got arrested. Now they're maybe facing 3 years. And so they calling and saying, "Look, sister, I'm trying to find somebody to help you." But these are the type of things that are happening, just silly,
Right.
foolish things that we're going to jail for. And that's what they want to do. They want to fill up the jails with you. And I might be offending some people. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
But
not.
they want to make every black man lose his masculinity.
Right.
I say it like that.
Yeah.
They want to make us into feminine beings,
Right.
because there can only be one man, and he want to be the man, so he'd make you into a girl. And now we got our silly people out there endorsing this. It's all right if they wear a dress. It's all right. You can be doing, yeah, okay. And so who your daughter gonna marry?
Right. Right.
So who gonna defend you? But they making the women into, hardcore dudes and
Right.
stuff.
Right.
But this is happening right in our face. And then let's talk about all the interracial commercials that you see. I mean, you want to buy a car? It's a white dude and a black woman.
Right.
Any TV show that you watch, any movie, Pepto-Bismol commercial.
Yeah.
I mean, a dog food commercial.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no more black love. They say they've eliminated black love. Black people, we're not going to help y'all love each other. Okay? So we got this trick out here, this trick bag to make you think that all of us love each other. And Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the last trick that he would use was to give you his woman. And he'd been giving us his woman since we were little, looking at pantyhose commercials. And black men, I'm gonna give me one of them white women. I'm gonna just swear to God, I'm gonna give me one.
Right.
And then when you get a chance, here we are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying if you're in an interracial relationship, God bless you. If you
Right.
in it for love, but most of the time, it ain't nothing but pure lust. She always wanted you. You always wanted her. She wanted to know what that black body felt
So
like.
let me ask you this, BJ, because you kind of alluded to it, but gay and lesbians.
Yes.
Do you think that they are choosing to do that? You don't think they're born that way?
Well, first of all, let me preface all my statements because I love my gay and lesbian family.
Okay.
There's nothing that you can do, and people try to paint me like, oh, he don't like gay people, he don't like so and so. So they say that about me.
Right.
But you ask any gay person in Charlotte if they ever had a run in with me or say, why the hell never,
Right.
never. I don't agree with the lifestyle,
Sure.
but I love you,
Right.
and I would defend you with my life if somebody tried to lay a hand on you to hurt you.
Right.
Nobody has the right to disrespect our gay and lesbian brothers and sisters.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So as far as them choosing to be other than themselves, I'll have to let God deal with that. But all I know is it take a man and a woman to produce a family.
Well, that's true.
And I can't have a family with a dude. I mean, as good as you look, brother, there's nothing sweet about you that's sweeter than a woman that I can get into.
You're absolutely correct.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, okay, how much perfume you put on and a wig and lipstick. But, I mean, like I said, though, man, this, I don't want my brothers and sisters to think that I don't love them, because, we have to love on each other with understanding. I'm not your judge.
Right.
I'm certainly not qualified to be your judge. I'm not God. I didn't create you. All I could do is respect what he created.
Well, that is true.
Yeah, I respect what he created. Now, the question is there something behind this? Because, in recent memory, there's never been a time in the history of us being here that there have been an onslaught of our young boys acting feminine and wanting to be gay and wanting to wear dresses and wanting to do all those things like that. So we don't understand that the wickedly wise scientists, they have ways, if you look at some of the experiments that have been done, there's ways to chemically castrate a man by the foods you eat.
Of course, yeah.
There's a fertilizer called aspartame that one of the scientists in Texas was talking about, how they used it to castrate male frogs and make them into feminine frogs. Yeah, so there's like a whole lot of experiments out there. I mean, they can do anything. They can clone a goat. They can put stuff in our food. That's why men got these big breasts, because they got estrogen in everything. And they're using the fast food industry to put stuff in there.
So you don't think that's natural?
Heck no. I mean, come on, man. Our daddy didn't have no breasts like that. All the stuff that we eating, men walking around, you have to wear a bra now. You got so much estrogen.
But if you're an overweight dude, you're going to have that.
But it's not like it is now. I mean, I looked in the mirror, I said, man, I got a lot of estrogen in me. I got to start working out, fasting, doing something to try to get this stuff out of me.
Yeah.
Let
me ask you this, man.
Yes.
Did you see the movie 13th? Ava DuVernay's movie?
No.
Ooh. You got to see it.
Okay.
Got to see it.
You talking about the 13th Amendment?
That's what she's talking about.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
I was floored by the data that she had in the movie.
Wow.
It's cold, hard evidence that things are in place, policies, laws, to make sure that brown folks don't get but so far.
That's right.
If they do get far, there's only an extreme select few that will do that. There's such a fear among really white males that this kind of a thing will happen. It strains me to witness it, to even hear people talk about it. Because sometimes I'll listen to it, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Right.
But listen, it is what it is. They believe what they want to believe. But yeah, that movie was absolutely amazing to watch. I watched it twice.
Wow. And that's the reason why, we can mention here about the Million Man March, and that's so pivotal in our black life. And that's why it's trying to be written out of history, because what did the Million Man March mean? It meant that we were going to go to Washington and go before God, because we had failed as men to accept our responsibility to atone, to reconcile our differences.
Right.
It was a chilly October the 16th, 1995, 4 o'clock in the morning. You hear the call to prayer. Brothers were gathering, and you hear that faint Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. God is great. God is great. Stillness. You could feel it. Black men, shoulder to shoulder, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Heaven. We were in heaven.
Yeah.
It was a day that the Lord had made for us to show us that we have an opportunity to bring in the kingdom of God on earth. Look at that sea of men.
Yeah.
A sea of men. A number no man could count. They tried to say it was a 400,000, but we know it was like a little over 2 million men on a Monday who had come to reconcile their differences with God. And so now we got to revive that spirit. That spirit was based off of our atonement, our confession, to go in a closet and confess before God our sins. He already knows, but we went to D.C. to relieve the burden that we have been bearing as black men, pointing out our wrongs, acknowledging our wrongs, repenting, confessing our wrongs. Then you repent, and then you atone, then you get reconciliation, restoration, and then we're back to a previously unimpaired condition, back to the A-tone. When the A-tone in music is 440 vibrations. It's the do, re, mi, la, sol, la, ti, do.
Right.
Now you're back to the A-tone,
Yeah.
one with God, because we want to be one with him. And we want to let him know that we are sorry for letting our women down, our children being raised without their fathers, our lack of care for the little girls in the community to keep them safe. And now we're experiencing the recompense for our neglecting
Right.
that marvelous day that God put together for us. And we got to get that spirit back. They have, when the Million Man March happened, the powers that be went to work. Never again will we allow this to happen. Black radio began to be decimated. 1996
Yeah.
with the Telecommunications Act.
Yep.
It was black radio that got everybody
What
to
year
the
was that
million
again?
number. 1995.
Who was in
Telecommunications Act, Bill Clinton in
Clinton.
1996.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
so he allowed more owner to buy at least 8 radio stations. So now you gut everybody. You put Tom Jones on. You put these syndicated shows on. Now the local voices that were the power behind the messages that needed to get out in the community, you silent now. You work at
They're gone.
Sears.
Yep. They're gone. That's right.
Yeah. You work at, you're not, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's a part of something called the King Alfred plan, was to control media, was to never let black people have a chance to communicate. Now we don't have no black radio stations.
Right.
And the stations that you hear, and they're playing, think about what they did to us. After 1995, 96, then the gangster music comes in.
Right.
Now you got the East Coast, West Coast beef.
Yep.
Now we're back to killing each other. They killed Big and Small, killed Tupac.
Yep.
Right after the Million Man March, right?
Yep.
And so now it's escalating. Now you got this other kind of rap, the sexual deviant rap. And now you got cats rapping that can't rap, but the message, they want to drive it home. Now they've bought into the prisons. The record company bought into the prison
Right.
system as investors. And now
You think the record companies bought into the
this
business?
actual fact and document.
Really?
Yes, sir. The Brofman family, the people that bring you Seagrams, they are the distributors of the most of the music. Edgar Brofman, who passed away not too long ago, his son is they're the distributors of the music. It's not black people that are distributing the vile music that you hear.
Right.
It's white folks. And they don't distribute it to their children. They distribute it to you, and you eat it up, because the American people are like pigs. They love garbage.
Right.
And they give me more.
Yeah.
Give me more. So now we have a degenerate culture, and they're feeding us like swine. We got filthy comedians. We got all this kind of stuff just
Right,
coming
right.
back, and we just use it as entertainment. But what does that have to do with the kingdom of God on earth?
Let me ask you something.
Good.
The Bible, the Quran, do you think that they are left to interpretation?
Well, these 2 books are roadmaps for our salvation.
Yep.
And if properly understood, you can take the Bible, you can take a couple of verses out of the Bible and live off that. You know, I give you one. Jesus said, if any man would be my disciple, you got to first deny yourself, pick up your cross, and then come worship me or follow me.
Right.
He said, follow me. Now, some smart aleck in the crowd would say, well, Jesus, what do you mean deny myself? What are you talking about? He said, look, I want you to deny yourself the evil that you do, that you enjoy doing.
Right.
And then put yourself on the cross to be crucified, and crucify your flesh, and come follow me. And where I put my foot, you put your foot. That means that I'm living inside of your brain. If you can open up the human brain and pull it back like a hood of a car, right?
Sure, yeah.
And then say, well, who is the king sitting in the dome, in my dome, who's sitting on the throne? Is
Right.
it you? Is it God? Or is it Satan? And so since we have made a mess of our lives trying to do it our way, Why don't you get up out of that damn seat and say, come on, guy, I'm going to get up. I done made a mess of this. You sit right here.
Right.
And then he'll sit down and say, damn, I'm sorry.
No, you're
He'll
good.
be like, I've been waiting for you to ask me to sit here because I created you.
Right.
I know what your mind suggests to you. I know everything that you're thinking. So we think we're fooling God when we have these filthy thoughts and we thinking about things and like God don't know what we're thinking. All you got to do is say, God, you know what I'm thinking right now. Please help me. Save me from this thought that I'm thinking right now because I know it is incompatible with what you want. And then you invite him in, you know what I'm saying? You invite him in to sit on the throne in your dome. And then he's driving you. Now you're not going to make the same silly mistakes that we make as black men.
Right.
We love
Okay.
playing with women. You know what I'm saying? That's our worst sin. One of our worst sin is that we have played with these women. We have made merchandise of them. And now God is punishing all of humanity because of the treatment of women.
Now, how is God doing that? How is he going to punish us?
Well, are we living in hell is the question. I think we all can agree that we're living in hell.
Yeah.
And-
I don't think you die and go to hell. I think you're
Right.
living it.
Because the Pope told you that hell was a condition, and we have created conditions for hell. Black people certainly are living in hell
Right.
under a real devil, and now we become devils.
Let me ask you something. I don't want to get too deep
Yeah.
into the religion piece, but because we can go on and on and
Yeah,
on
yeah,
about
yeah.
that. But so, do you think God is real?
Absolutely.
Okay, let me ask you another question.
Yes, sir.
So, back during times of slavery, when the
Yes.
slave would say, "Father, please help me. Please
Yes.
get me out of this." Why did that never happen, or why did it take
Okay.
so long?
Well, our people.
And I know you don't. There's no one answer.
Right. I could give you the answer. There's the scripture in the book of Genesis. It talks about how God's people were going to be in a strange land. They're going to be in a situation where they're going to be serving a people for 400 years.
Yeah.
This is prophecy.
Yeah.
So God, he permitted this to happen because he needed to make a new people. Okay. This people, I'm talking about the original people, the black people, God's people,
Right.
the first in the light of the sun, were going to serve under a taskmaster. The story of Moses in Egypt is classic.
Right. Yeah.
When Moses went to Pharaoh, said, "Let my people go," and they had been serving Pharaoh, living in Egypt for 400 years,
Yeah.
as slaves, right? And then finally, Abraham Lincoln let them go. He let them go.
okay.
Pharaoh let him go.
Right.
And God, he told Moses to let the people bring them out of Egypt because I got something for them, right? And the people was coming back. You know the Charleston Heston movie. You know it's all allegorical, and that story is allegorical as well.
Right.
But it describes our sojourn in America because there's no record of anybody being in bondage for 400 years except for black people in America. We are the people of that scripture that was going to come out with great substance.
Right.
And God had visited them, and he wants to raise them. Like the scripture says, I'm going to take the bottom rail and move it to the top, and the top to the bottom. This is our destiny, that he will make black people who had suffered under that kind of affliction into his people. Because if we weren't the people of God, we would have killed everybody.
Right.
When we got out of slavery.
Yeah.
So we are to lead the whole world back to him.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. But we had to go through that.
Yeah. I'm not doubting you. I'm just
Yeah. I mean,
interesting.
so why did you allow us to be in slavery? If you can ask God, and God to say, well, I allowed this. And he said, I know you suffered. But Martin King, my servant, said, undeserved suffering is redemptive. He said, the whole world is lost, not just you black people. The whole world has gone out of the way, not just you black people. You the lost sheep, but the whole world is lost. you gone astray, but the whole world has gone astray.
Right.
And he said, why did you do it, God? He said, I did it that I may be glorified. Because like Job, no matter what I did to him, he never cursed me. He never cursed me and told me that I ain't no good. He said, whatever your will is. And that's
Right.
what black people who love God are doing. And he is actually making us into the people that's going to rule the world.
Okay.
I hope I don't know if I did a good job of trying to explain it.
Listen, I'm good with it.
But we were put in the furnace of affliction for a reason,
Right.
to make us into a different people, because our hearts, we love every damn body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We love everybody more than we love our own self. So we are made for the time of the deliverance of the whole world.
Do you think we're too forgiving?
Yes. But
Yeah.
that just shows you that how beautiful you are.
Yeah.
Because, even though somebody hurts you, your love is so deep, like the ocean is, that you will forgive your enemies, but you won't forgive your black brother or friend.
That's a problem.
Right. And that's a serious problem.
Yeah.
So now we have to have some common sense with forgiveness, because forgiveness is born out of repentance.
Right.
So if I slapped your wife when you came in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
She came in here, and I said, "Yeah, do it again. Just do it again." And then so, no, honey, just forgive him for slapping you. You know what I'm saying? Now, what would you do to me? You would probably get one of these lights or cameras. You try to bust a big hole in my head for disrespect, and then I'm arrogant with it.
After she got off of you, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So that's stupid forgiveness. So it's like my man did in Dallas when he forgave Amber Geiger,
Right.
and
right.
then she's
Right.
still trying to get off, and then they tried to get some kind of settlement from the city of Dallas, and they said, "Hell no,
Right,
they're
right.
giving you nothing." So okay, well, we're going to sue the apartment complex then. So I thought you forgave everybody.
Right.
Why are you trying to get money now?
Yeah.
You missed your chance because you're so weak and tenderhearted.
Right.
But they don't have no mercy on you.
Yeah, that's true.
She didn't even apologize for killing him. And then you want to hug somebody that killed your brother?
I didn't quite get that.
No.
I didn't get that. So, all right, look, we have an hour to kind of unpack everything. BJ and I can never finish everything, even when we have unlimited time. Let's call it unlimited time. So we've been talking about a lot of stuff so far. I'm sure most of you have already heard it. It's a ton of information to talk about. A lot of this stuff is very, very deep information. A lot of you will probably look at this and say, damn, BJ is hard. Not really. It's just telling you the facts.
Yeah, he's a lover.
So here's some information on the screen right now that's really astounding. And this is from 2015?
Yes, sir.
2015. This
comes out of the
shows
book
you-
called How White Folks Got
Rich.
Yes.
Yeah. And so this shows you how how black folks spend money on tobacco products, $3.3 billion per year. Whiskey, wine and beer, $3 billion a year. Non-alcoholic beverages, $2.8 billion. Leisure time, 3.1. Toys, games, and pets, 3.5. Now look at this one. Because this is nothing but, this is cell phone. This is telephone services. This cell phone, $18 billion. That was 5 years ago.
Yes.
5 years ago.
It's
So
more
you
than
know
that now.
Right.
Yeah.
You know it's more than that now. $10 billion for gifts, charitable contributions, $17 billion, healthcare, $23 billion, books, $325 billion.
I'm surprised at that.
Yeah.
But so this is,
But my point in reading all of this is it shows you that we consume so much stuff.
yeah.
We buy it.
Yes.
It's like we got to have a phone. We got to have this. We got to have that. And we don't really got to have really much of any of this stuff.
Yeah.
We can cut back on the whiskey, wine, and beer. We can cut back on a lot of different things. I don't understand the tobacco piece, though. Is that smoking? I guess cigarettes?
I guess that's the cigarillos.
Wow. 3.
Black and Mild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
We buy a whole lot of Black and Mild, bro.
Because it's definitely not any weed in there.
Yeah.
But
Just to
that's
put the weed in.
That's right. But those numbers are amazing to
Yes,
me.
it's amazing. And that just shows the power of the $1 trillion in spending power that we have. So if we needed a school in Charlotte, we could certainly build one.
Well, that is true.
And we tried to do that in Charlotte. We was going to set up a bank account when I was on Power 98. and we had a meeting about it. And there was some strange dude sitting in the back of every meeting, you know what I'm saying? So it never materialized.
Right.
But we were setting up a bank account, and we wanted everybody to put in like $25 a week. And we'd be able to, if we pooled our resources like that, we trusted each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of impossible to do that because we don't have any affinity of love for one another to trust each other.
Yeah.
Where the money going? I thought you said on Thursday you go, you know.
Right.
So we got to work through a whole lot of other things.
We do.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Before
Yeah,
we get
do.
to that part.
I mean, the idea, if you cut, where did it go? 18 billion for the phone. Right.
Yeah.
Let's just round it up. $20 billion for the phone. If you could take $5 billion and do a ton of good.
Yes.
$5 billion.
Yep. To build some schools in different neighborhoods. I mean, I'm proposing that people take their children out of school and just have them in somebody's den and do homeschool.
Homeschooling, yeah.
Or put them in a church banquet hall, and y'all have school
Right.
there. You do better doing that than
But
continuing.
so many of us, though, BJ, have got to get off the machine.
Yeah.
We're all, everybody's in the machine, and we think the machine is perfect, and we think the machine is going to do us the best, the overall good, and it really isn't. Until you can really step back and look at what the machine is doing, you're going to keep on doing it. But you really need to take a look at that, because it's not in your best interest. Not to me. Again, I keep going back to 13th. But that movie was absolutely amazing. There's other things out there too. You can watch this movie that with Russell Crowe. It's fairly new, but they talk about how Fox was started.
Yeah.
And it was started because of all the things happening on the left. There was nothing on the right, so they started Fox,
Yeah.
and that's all they talked about. That's all they did.
Right.
So, it's funny. We could do the same thing, but we have limitations. We have trust issues. We have all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, when I go out this week or next week to start asking people for money, it's going to be, I don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
All I can do is do it, because the goal is obviously to have our own network where we are generating content that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Because there's a ton of stories out there that about us that we just don't even know
Yeah,
about.
that's right.
So-
Right here in Charlotte.
Right, even right here in Charlotte.
Yeah.
That's true. So there's one of the board members, Eli Davis. He has a site called 4 Black Centuries, and he has information on there every single day, probably a couple times a day, that is always of interest to me. Something
Wow.
I've never heard of before.
Yeah.
I can't bring it up right now, but it's like, damn, I did not know that. But that's the purpose of his Facebook page. He did something one time fairly recently, and Facebook didn't like it, and they cut his site.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to do too is ultimately have everything that he's doing on Facebook on the Square Media website.
Okay.
That's going to be there.
That's
too.
awesome.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
going to be pretty
It's going to
cool.
happen for you, man. You got faith that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Your faith, look what your faith has done already.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Can we talk about Kobe for a minute, though?
Yes, let's go.
I know we're running out of time, but I wanted to, I was looking at one of the sports shows on ESPN, and Kendrick, I forgot his last name, but he's played for the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
And he was talking about Kobe Bryant. And, the outpouring for Kobe Bryant has just been magnificent.
Right.
The amount of love and affection and accolades they're throwing on him. And I asked myself, this came up in my mind, and he said it just like I was saying it. I said, what is wrong with us as black people that my ego will not allow me to say something nice and good about you while you are alive?
Yeah.
And I can say it face to face to you, but I have to wait for you to die in order for me to feel comfortable saying something nice about a characteristic that you have.
Yeah.
So it's the ego that, when you're watching somebody, like if I had an ego about this, we're doing something similar in our media. If I had an ego, I ain't going over there,
Right.
on his
Right,
stuff.
right,
I got my own stuff, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And every time I come over here, I say, man, this is magnificent.
Right.
And why can't we have some kind of empathy towards each other? Just that alone breaks down the walls. I see,
It does.
Charlotte is full of fake people, man.
It's a lot.
They fake as hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they not, you can't even give somebody a decent compliment when you see them do good. What's wrong? You say, "Oh, brother, that's good. Go ahead."
Right.
You somebody with a new video. "Oh, man, go ahead. That's you. Come on, man. Go ahead."
Right,
Because I'm
right.
excited because, maybe God will bless me one day
Right.
with that. Maybe
Exactly.
can I ride in it with you? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So something wrong with us that we need to fix. And this exposes the gross disconnect that we
Yeah.
have for one another.
Yeah.
And when black people, I think Kobe Bryant's death, God is going to use it as a catalyst to make people think about the short time that you have on the earth. We only live once.
Right.
It's a moment in time. Why don't you just fall in line and let him make your life better? And why don't you, the scripture says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God."
Right.
When you're a peacemaker with your brothers and sisters or any human being, you know what I'm saying? Life gets kind of great when
It does. Yeah.
when you just drop the ego thing. Be the first one to speak sometimes. Be
Yep.
the first one to call somebody. "Hey, man, I was thinking about you. Hey, how you and your family doing? I love your son, the way he's doing
Right.
so and so."
Right, right,
What's
right.
wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with it, but we won't do it. We don't do it. We have a hard time doing it.
Yeah. But envy, see, listen, I want y'all got to understand this. You got to study yourself, because envy and jealousy is like in our DNA.
Yeah.
It was bred into us. It's hard for us. Like, you ever been in a coffee shop I go to, when people come in, and I was always taught, when you come into a building, you speak, or a
Sure.
room, you
Yeah,
speak.
exactly.
And everybody, you do everything they can not to make eye contact with you. And I'd be looking at them, saying, "How you doing, brother?" He's, "Oh, how you doing?" You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And sometimes people we're not used to of anybody just being kind,
No, we're not used
To
to
us.
it. Right.
that we just, I don't want to be bothered. I'm not even going to try to speak. I just want to come and get my thing and leave.
Yeah.
But
I'm out.
But you can tell how much a person actually loves themselves by the way they greet you, and they see you, they speak to you.
That's true.
Because they have people that don't do that. They have a whole lot of self-hate or a lack of self-confidence. One could be,
Yeah, yeah.
not necessarily self-hate, but could be, I'm afraid of being rejected. If
Right.
I make eye contact with this person, they won't speak. You know what I'm saying? But try it.
Yeah.
And I do that. I always smile at people like, how you doing?
Right.
I just can't do it. I can't just act like you don't exist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I like to feel comfortable in the presence of any human being. I don't
Yep.
care what color you are, whatever. If you're a human being, if you're God's creation, I think you should just respect it.
But some people have to be shown
Yeah.
different ways of doing things. Some people have to fall
Yeah.
before they actually get it. And I mean falling from grace, whatever your grace is,
Yeah.
you got to fall from it before you actually get it. Because sometimes when you're riding up here, you never think that you could be down here.
Yeah. Now, hey, I bear witness to it, because you would have never told me what happened to me in my career when I left Chicago, that I would be sleeping in the bed that I grew up in Goldsboro, North Carolina, in my
Right.
mama house with my wife and my son in the bed with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
With no
Yeah.
money.
Right.
So I tell the story. I'm not ashamed, because, when God have you in that kind of situation, and when you come up from that, he will let you know it's me
Sure.
doing it, not
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Exactly.
it. And so if you really look at where you are right now, and you're not where you want to be, just open up the hood in your head. Just open it up and get out of the seat, that seat that sitting on the throne
Right.
in your dome. Get up and say, "God, you sit here. You do it."
Yeah.
Because I can't do it.
Right.
And that's it. That's the thing about it, man. You can't do it by yourself. You need help.
That is true.
So ask him, please, would you just help me? I need your help. I mean, last week I needed some money, man. And I said, please help me.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, things started arranging. Ain't no
Right.
hocus pocus thing.
Fell into place,
but
right.
things fell into place,
Yeah.
because you got to be humble enough to ask for help.
Right.
Right.
Of course.
So you see my man up there.
Oh,
my,
yeah.
my men.
Oh, yeah.
On on the screen, what is to your left?
Oh, right.
To your right is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the boldest black man on the planet. He is my mentor. The man is responsible for whatever you love about Brother BJ, that I got it from him.
So why didn't he like Jews?
He loves Jews. He loves.
I just had to throw that out
He
there.
loves Jews. He's a beautiful human being. You can't be a servant of God and hate anybody.
Right, right.
Because so how could you be a servant of God and hate a person for their faith, tradition, or the way they look or their color?
Right.
You disqualified from that. Because I'm not. And the thing about this, I'm not. The brothers and sisters, we not stupid. You think we would follow somebody that hate people?
Right.
Come on. And then, this beautiful black man who's the father of black consciousness, this man is the most, I used to say the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is so mysterious to me.
Right.
Before I got to get into him.
Yeah.
But look at this brilliant black man who raised up Malcolm X, who raised up Muhammad Ali, and who raised up the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, 3 black men that the world feared.
Wow.
Feared. What other black man do you know in America that was feared than Malcolm, Muhammad Ali, Farrakhan? If you say Farrakhan name in the room, everybody like get all nervous and stuff.
Sometimes they
You know
do.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Just think about it. Saying somebody, now you scared. Nobody don't care. We don't carry weapons.
Right.
We don't carry as much as a penknife. He taught us that God is on our side.
Yeah.
He taught us about God will look. God, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, man. There's some fantastic stories about the FOI in the Nation of Islam when gangsters and people in the mafia would threaten the FOI. And they're talking about how, Honorable Muhammad Ali said one day, a messenger, they talking about if I don't throw the fight, they're gonna shoot me in my knees. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, they got knees too. One day, the mafia had took one of our trucks with the Final Call newspaper. That time was Muhammad Speaks.
Right.
And they took it. And the FOI went over to the mob boss's house. Man, if our goddamn truck ain't back in our parking lot by day, there's going to be some problems.
Wow.
That truck was back on the
Really?
lot. You see, you don't mess with the FOI. You don't mess with
Was
black
that
men.
in Chicago?
I think that was in New York.
Okay.
But you don't mess with black men who don't fear dying.
Right. Yeah.
You playing with a beehive. You know what I'm saying? You ask these rappers out here, people come out of their mouth saying something crazy about the minister, and the brothers chase them down. The Jim Jones, there's a great story about Jim Jones, was a rapper who's still quite, how the FOI said, look, brother, we love you and everything, but you're not going to disrespect our man.
Right.
And the reason why we love them so much, because if you know where you came from and that you heard a message that made you better, and you heard something that can make our people better, but the message is not just for black people, it's for white people too. It's for everybody.
Yep.
It's a universal message
Yep.
of truth. So don't be afraid to learn something new. Everybody ain't gonna be no Muslim,
No,
but you can learn some of the valuable information.
that is true.
And I'm glad to be in the FOI.
Can you give me 30, 40 seconds and tell me about this?
This is the Charlotte Peacekeepers, led by our brother Norman Muhammad. And we started the Peacekeepers. We have an office on Beatty'sford Road right there at the corner of Beatty'sford and LaSalle. That's where a young sister got killed, Ayana,
Yep.
this last April. And what we do is we patrol the streets. We get brothers and we go walk around the neighborhood. We just take care of a perimeter. Catherine Simmons, of course, we had like 4 murders on that street.
Yeah.
And we go around the perimeter, make friends with the brothers and sisters there. They call on us when they need something. We have the conflict resolution line.
Yeah.
I remember one story real quick where a brother, we was on the corner on a Saturday, and we out there from like 1 to 2 every Saturday. And the brother came up to me and said, man, I want to thank y'all, man. I don't know what I would done if y'all. I was looking at him like, who are you? I mean, what do we do?
Right.
And he said, yeah, man, I was going to beat my daddy up, man. And they stopped me. And I found out it was Vivian Stewart. You know Vivian Stewart?
The name.
She was the one that talked to him on the other side of the street, and we didn't know nothing about it.
Right.
But just our presence being there, we stopped a young brother from beating his father up.
Wow.
And so he was grateful for that. So we got the conflict resolution line, which you can call. And Brother Corey Muhammad, who's the leader of the Nation of Islam here, local representative, he definitely answers that line. And then we have Stop Killing Our Children support group, which originated a couple of months ago. These are the mothers and the fathers of the children that have been slain in Charlotte.
Okay.
All the heinous murders that you've seen, they've gotten a support group. We support it from behind the scenes, and we want them to go out and start speaking and telling the black community, this is not what you want, this kind of pain. I met a mother at our last march on West Boulevard, and she lost 2 children last year.
Wow.
And I'm like looking at her like, how are you even standing out here?
Exactly.
She said, I wanted to come support. She put a Facebook message up, and she said, I didn't know what I was going to expect when I came out there, but I'm glad I came. I'm starting to heal. So when these mothers are together and when we have these little meetings and organizing meetings, I have a lump in my throat when I'm listening to them. And every once in a while, somebody will start talking about that child and they'll hold hands and they'll start crying.
Yeah.
And they're there for each other. Claudia, who lost her son at UNC Charlotte. Remember that right after the UNC Charlotte killings?
I do, yeah.
And she's fighting like cats and dogs, man. And some of the mothers, they stay in bed because they just grief stricken.
Sure.
And, and I'm saying to all the sisters out there, man, y'all should join this, and y'all should become a part and just be a warm blanket to wrap around them. Just be supportive, because we don't know how it feels to lose a child unless you've lost one.
Right.
But just be quiet if you don't know what to say, and just stand and hold them. And then God will give you something to say. Because I don't know. I don't have nothing to say except for what, they tell me to do.
Yeah.
And I try to make one of the sisters right now, the head organizer, she looking for a place to stay because when she lost her son, her whole family broke up. And so she's trying to get on her feet, but she still has the will to say, hey, look, I don't want this to happen to nobody else.
Right.
So we're looking for some place for her to stay. So if y'all know anything, just get in contact with me. Can I give my phone number?
Sure.
My phone number is 704-905-2535. That's 704-905-2535. And that would be awesome. So, when you talk about love, that's what I'm on right now.
Well, BJ, brother, I appreciate you, man. I always enjoy our conversations.
Yes.
Listen, I'll be honest with you, we could have gone on for another hour.
Man. Yeah.
Easy,
Yeah.
another hour. But what happens now is that we although shows are 1 hour, it just means you got to come back so we can continue this conversation.
Absolutely.
And have several other conversations. Folks, tomorrow, Joe Ford is here. His show is The Situation. I don't know what his topic is. We're going to find out, and we're going to make the promos and send that out to you.
Love you, Joe.
And then on Wednesday, frankly speaking, with Thomas Farley is going to be on the network. He just sent me something. Well, I don't know what his topic is, but those two shows are coming up tomorrow, and then Wednesday. The next week we have another barrage of shows that's going to be coming up as well. Today was the very first show of the year. This is the start of a brand new of a new season for us. Our season, we have a split season, runs from February through June 15th and August 15th through December 15th. Okay. So that's kind of how it runs. But folks, thank you so much for your support. Yes. I truly appreciate you guys. It's been amazing. Last year was pretty much like our proof of concept, and it worked out really well. Yeah. And this year we're going to be doing some really big things. So, BJ, again, I'm thankful that you're here to help kick everything off. Thank you. And I appreciate your support, and look forward to it in the future as well. Thank you. Folks, we're out of here. Appreciate you, and we'll talk soon. Have a good one. See ya. Go ahead and cut this over here. I was trying to cut the stream from my phone, but it wasn't connected.
Okay.
Oh. Folks, we're out of here. Appreciate you, and we'll talk soon. Well, it looked good and it sounded good, I can tell you that.
Okay, great.